Hey, what's up, guys? I'm in the midst of doing something with this, with that, and with that one. And I said to myself, this is too stupid not to share. So what I'm doing, when I put this one together, I had a Excel 300 ignition module, that guy right there. And when I put this together, I had an MSD module, this thing right here. I had it mounted to the on the fender apron, like where the battery would go normally on a EFI car. So what I wanted to do was I want to put a two-step on here. So then I started looking into it. I've already got a two-step module. So I thought, well, if I get a MSD ignition, I can plug the module into that, and I've got a two-step, I'm all set. So then I started thinking, well, the LTD's got an MSD ignition and it's got the plug-in for the module. So if I swap the MSD to here and put the XL back on that one, they'll both have good ignition, and this will have a two-step, which is what I want to have, because I'm not consistent enough trying to hold the RPMs at a certain RPM and get the watch the tree and all that stuff. So the XL, I had that on that old yellow station wagon that's in that video, at the track. That's been over probably 20 years ago. I've had it quite a long time. I think actually I put it on here when I first got it, and then when I got the LTD wagon, I put that on the wagon and put an MSD on here. So swapping ignition between these two, the objective being next week sometime I'll bring this in the garage to put a spool on it. I'll swap the intake, go back to the Victor Jr., and then put the ignition in with the two-step, and then see how that works out versus what it's done its best with the TFSR. I think I could probably turn the RPM up a little bit with the Victor Jr., so that should help. If the power's comparable and it makes more power or the same power at a higher RPM, it'll go faster. And this one, I'm going to take the fan controller, this little guy right here, and put it on here because this one didn't seem to work. And it's a DC controls. They're really good. I've always had good luck with them, except for right now this one don't work, and I'm not sure why. But that fan controller I had that on that old wagon too. I do a lot of moving parts around, but it's pretty old, but it still was working a while ago. So the reason I'm going to take this one off of here is because a guy I work with is doing a resto mod, if you want to call it, on a first gen Bronco. He's putting a 347, and he bought all kinds of doodads, like a big old fat aluminum radiator, and he bought a electric water pump and all this stuff. And he went to put it together, and there's not enough room between the radiator the fans and the front of the engine, so he's got to get like one of them short ones like an Explorer. So I'm going to get his water pump and I'll put that on here, but I'm going to have to get a controller that runs the water pump and the fans. So I'm going to put that on. When I get it, I'll put it on here. In the meantime, I can move that fan controller onto this and run my Contour fan setup. So that's the objective. And regarding this, I'm sure you guys saw the last video of Kevin's. It was kind of pushing a little smoke out the back. So what I'm going to do is put a hole on here and mount this on there some way. I haven't figured that out yet, how I'm going to do it. And then I've got a screw in breather for that, kind of alleviate some of the crankcase pressure. I think what it's doing is because I got the big old Canon bell mouth on here, and I got the air inlet sealed up. It's kind of almost like having a supercharger in a sense, because you're getting a lot of crankcase pressure in there, and there's nowhere for it to go. The PCV can't handle it because there's no vacuum in the intake, because there's no restrictions in the intake. So it's just getting a lot of pressure in there, and it's got nowhere to go. So it starts to find a weak spot, and it goes out around the seal. So I'll put the breather on there, breathers, and that should help. And maybe even make a little more power. That'll be something to do a comparison with next time we go to the dyno. So that was about it. I just figured, like I said, this was kind of too stupid not to share it, so I thought I'd let you all know. You guys seem to enjoy the buffoonery I go, the things I do, so I thought I'd share. See how y'all like it, and spend well, gosh, almost 5.5 minutes wasting your time. Sorry about that, but I appreciate y'all anyway. Later.